Alright guys, welcome back to another review. For this time I'm going to be doing Shovel Knight. Now, again, as I always repeat myself every single time, these reviews are pure opinion. This is not like based off like anything. So on all reviews. But just so everybody doesn't get mad, please don't get upset. It's my opinion about the game and how I think about it. So anyway, as we go, I do three pros, three cons, and then I put my final verdict. So let's start with the pros. First pro is a classic feel of the game. If you've played like Super Nintendo games like Mario, what else is there? Stuff like that, like even like Zelda or even Mega Man, games like that. You may like this game a lot, and especially if you like this game, those games. This game is just pretty much a game for people that love those games. I liked Super Mario when I was younger. I played my share of Mega Man. I played my share of every other game. So I really enjoyed the classic feel of the game. So, the next pro I'm going to give is the ramping difficulty in the game. The ramping difficulty, it is easy in the beginning, as I say. It gets pretty hard eventually. It starts ramping up each level to the point where at the end of the last level, it is a challenge. You actually have to think, you actually have to try. So the ramping difficulty, if you like games that get harder and harder eventually, this game is for you. So that's another pro. Let's go for the next one. Useful items. The items are not all of them are completely useful, useless, or I mean useful. I can't say that much, but they are not useless. There are some that are like there's a coin. I don't know what it does exactly. Never used it, but most items you get, you're going to use. Um. Like there's what's it called? You got the propeller sword, which gets you from point A to point B faster in midair. You got what else is there? There's the propeller knife. There's the amulet that puts you invisible, so spikes and other damaging things don't hurt you. You got a gear platform that basically can go across, go fast at movements and jump over gaps and stuff. That's there. There's a Knuckles that allows you to go through snow or sand without missing a beat. Stuff like that. And it allows it to give skill to get past levels easy in different ways. Also, even fighting bosses themselves. Like I used the thing I called a booger snot. But it's basically what I use for a boss. It bounces around the arena and you can hit them 2-3 times before the match is over. So, yeah. Now let's go to the cons of the game. The only real con is one I'm going to give you right now that I'd consider the worst con in the game. The armors in the game. There are upgrades like armor upgrades and item upgrade ability skills. The skills are not. I've thought of it. I was gonna put this on the list, but when you think of it, they're not as bad as they seem. There's one of the skills is you get to, when you're at full health, you can shoot like a shockwave through the ground and hurt them. But you have to be at full health. But granted, that's going to probably be the worst one. But I mean, if you're good at the game, you won't have this problem. The other ones are dig up a hole instantly with one strike. That right there is another. if you're good at that's really useful. I use that a lot, so you don't have to sit there and strike. Another skill is, what is it? Damn, guys, I'm on a tongue twister today. One of the skills. But either way, you get my point. Each skill has got a kind of a useful ability to it. Well, the armors, they have their unique thing, but they're not the greatest. I use the red one majority of the game. Now, granted, I could have probably got rid of the red one for what is it? For a different one, because later on in the game you really don't need the money anymore. So instead of having that, you could have something else. But I mean, that's up to you. I used the red one pretty much throughout the whole game, because it was just the only thing you're gonna use, because you want your money, because it halves the money. It's all it does, is it gets rid of your money. Without, when you die, you only lose half of the amount instead of the whole amount. So again, that's the reason. Other than that, there's one that gives you more mana, so it gives you more chances to use your abilities. There's one that you don't get knocked back when you get hit, which I guess wouldn't be a bad thing, I guess. But there's just different ones, and each one, I guess, has its own unique feeling. But I just felt like they're just not as good. They're not useful whatsoever. But I could be wrong. Some people could be thinking differently. The next con. Now, this con isn't really like the worst con in the game. I've seen worse. This is just my opinion, guys. The next con is, it's frustrating. Now, I got frustrated with this game, yelling, screaming, swearing at this game. I had a hard time with it. Especially later on in the game, especially like the last boss. It is a hard final boss. It's a challenge. Granted, it could be just because I suck at games, but it could be anything. It's a challenging game, and it gets frustrating. Now, this con is not something I brought down any of the thing. It's just something of my opinion. It is a frustrating game, and if you get frustrated very easily over games and you have a hard time, do not play games like this. If you don't mind getting frustrated and you like games like this, play it. It's a recommended game, but it's very, very frustrating. The next con, again, is another one that's not really much of a con. It's just something that's a problem, an issue with the game that I have. And that is, it's too much money. Eventually, you do have so much money, you don't need it. Because once you buy all abilities, all the upgrades for your mana and your health, all the items, everything, there's no point of having any of the money. It's just gathered up. Once you have everything, you just keep accumulating it. It's useless. And that's the problem with the money part. Again, this is not a problem with the game itself. It's just something that I don't care for. I don't like the fact that I got no usefulness of my money after a certain point in the game. And granted, it's near the end, probably about 2 or 3 levels left, maybe 4 levels left of the game when this happens. But it's still, eventually, it's like, well, why am I collecting the money? So, those are my pros, those are my cons of this game. The final verdict of this game is, I'm going to give Shovel Knight a 5 out of a 5. Now, if you think my 5s out of 5 is meaning perfect game, masterpiece, no. I mean, this game is really fun, really good. I mean, I think it's like $20 on all systems now, and it's really fun. It's something, especially if you like classical games. This is what you would consider fun. But it is not no perfect game. There's no game out there that's perfect. But it's just, you pick this up, you're going to have a great time. And I just believe that. I give this game a 5 out of 5. You don't like it, please comment. Don't be mean. Just tell me your opinion. We'll have a discussion about it. I'm okay with that. So again, we'll try our best. I'll take you guys. I'll have another game soon coming up. I will probably be choosing because nobody has written what they have. Thanks again, guys, and that's my review for Shovel Knight. Later.